pressure on the division's front runners. For Villa, it's a chance to bounce back. Despite starting the season with 3 consecutive wins, Carla Ward's Villains are aiming to halt a run of 3 defeats with their first WSL points since September. I'm Max Jones. Alongside me today is Sam Parkin. Sam, lots of interest in this one, especially in the starting lineups. We'll come on to that in more detail in a bit, but Lauren James, you sense, could play a huge part today.
Yeah, big season for her, unquestionably. Great talent, we know that. Great ability with the ball, starting to get a few more appearances now, and looking forward to seeing Guro Reiten as well on the opposite flank. We're anticipating on the left-hand side. Provided 4 assists, I think, in the week in that Champions League game. Great artistry she provides the left-hand side, lovely balance. One of the real creative sparks of this side.
And of course, who can forget Sam Kerr, the first player to net 4 goals in a Champions League group stage game. Really special talent who's certainly picking up her confidence and form going into this game. But before we focus on this afternoon's action, let's remind ourselves what happened last time out at Brighton.
Difficult to express just how difficult the conditions are here, particularly the way that Chelsea are attacking in the first half. But it's Brighton who were on the front foot here. It's a decent cross as well, and Bright had to get the block in to deny Libby Bance. Here's Lee. Good spell this for Brighton. And the cross from Sarri, and Berger was able to get there. Floated in by Perisset. It's a really good ball to the back post as well. And Megan Walsh is able to deny Niamh Charles her second goal in as many WSL games. Bright. Here's Lauren James. She's carried on her run as well. James into the penalty area now. If she can get it through the puddles. Teed it up for Cuthbert. And she found the stand rather than the net. Another really good ball in, and the header down could have been awkward on this pitch for Megan Walsh. Charles again going close. She's looked really lively tonight. Bance caught in possession. Can England punish her? Bethany England, and Walsh manages to tip it over just about. Really packed a punch that from Bethany England. Chelsea getting closer. Perisset's corner. Charles with the header, off the bar, but the rebound is in from Bethany England, and this time it will count. And Chelsea finally make the breakthrough just before the hour. Another great ball in from Perisset. That's been a feature of the night. Charles so close, might have gone in actually, but England was there to make sure. Carter. Strong run this from Jess Carter, and she's still going, and she went for goal herself, beaten away by Walsh. Danger not passed yet for Brighton. Oh, and off the bar from Perisset. How unlucky. Nearly snapped it clean into here, Eve Perisset. Second goal would surely kill it. Ingle. Kerr, lovely first time ball, no flag against Pernilla Harder, forced a little wide. Kerr there for the cut back. Harder doesn't need her. She thumped it in, and that will be 3 priceless points for Chelsea against a team who've given them so many problems over recent years. Arsenal, City United all victorious after the exits in midweek. This has been a brilliant effort from Chelsea. They've beaten Brighton and Hove Albion by 2-0.
Well, tough conditions to say the least on the south coast. It's not been too much better in South London today, although the sun is just about starting to come out. Let's take a look at the state of play ahead of this weekend's round of WSL fixtures. Important to close the gap, of course, on the unbeaten league leaders Arsenal and Manchester United.
Yeah, it just shows you, Max, that opening day defeat at Liverpool. We're hoping it's not going to be too costly. I think this is the sternest test that Arsenal and Manchester United have faced this season. against West Ham and Everton respectively. They've obviously got maximum points, had a brilliant start to the season, but I could see potentially some points drop today, so that makes it all more important that Chelsea take care of business in a game where you'd expect them to win.
I don't know how close attention you were paying to the league table there. You'll have noticed the draws column didn't have a single one in there. 26 games played this season in the WSL, and quite incredibly, not a single game has ended in a draw. However, 4 of the bottom sides in the table play each other this weekend, so perhaps the points will be shared by the end of the afternoon. Should also note that 12 of the 26 matches this season have been decided by a single goal. So, as we know from Aston Villa, this one could be tight, especially the way that it ended last time out.
Yeah, had to work really hard for that victory. Obviously, all-important victory, considering how the season ended. They've obviously had a brilliant opening day victory against Manchester City, but lost the last 2, so I'd expect them to be pretty pragmatic, as you'd imagine most sides are going to be when they come to Kings Meadow. But they do have, of course, a real obvious threat on the counter-attack. Rachel Daly's been amongst the goals. The wide players will be a threat, and going to be interesting to see how Chelsea counteract that. And we know that there's a lot of variation with the formations, probably even more so with the women's team than what we're seeing with Graham Potter right now, even though he's mixing up his shapes and his tactics. It's difficult to know exactly how Chelsea are going to line up today. What we do know that they've got great depth and some brilliant front players that we've already spoken about today, so hopefully we're in store for some more goals.
Here we go then. Magda Eriksson and Rachel Corsie, 2 very experienced campaigners, lead their sides out. Chelsea, of course, chasing the 7th consecutive victory that would see them keep pace with their title rivals ahead of a big showdown with second place Manchester United next week. This could, in theory, be the perfect confidence builder for Denise Reddy and Paul Green's side. For Aston Villa, though, they'll have other things on their mind. We know that this is a side that are capable of surprises. They've struggled in recent weeks to finish their chances. Chelsea will be hoping that they lack that fluency today. So let's have a look then at how Chelsea line up. It looks as though they've gone for a back 4. Ann-Katrin Berger, of course, in goal. Magda Eriksson on the left side of the back 4. Eve Perisset on the right. Millie Bright partnered by Kadisha Buchanan in the middle. It's going to be a midfield trio, we expect, of Sophie Ingle, Pernilla Harder, Erin Cuthbert, and then up front, this is where the excitement is. Guru Wrighton, Sam Kerr and Lauren James. Looking for a lot of creativity and efficiency from those 3 this afternoon. Well, Carla Ward has made the fewest amends to her starting 11s in the WSL this season, and they're unchanged again today. Hannah Hampton is unavailable this afternoon, so Anna Leek continues her role between the sticks. She actually saved a penalty during the midweek shootout defeat to Everton. But there is positive injury news for Villa. Rachel Daly missed the cup game against the Toffees, but has recovered in time to lead a creative front line. As you can see from the 2 captains' armbands, this fixture is dedicated to demonstrating Chelsea's ongoing support across the club for LGBTQI+ inclusion. Today we're celebrating Stonewall's Rainbow Laces campaign as the club encourages everyone to play their part in making sport everyone's game. So a lot of changes to the starting 11, Sam. A lot of talk over the formation. It's going to become a lot clearer, certainly, in the next few moments as they leave the huddle. But your initial impressions of the starting 11 for the Blues?
Well, really exciting. I think there's great options, isn't there, in the squad. The depth has been built over a number of years now, and every time they take to the field, you expect them to get a victory. But what I will say is the WSL this season is looking so competitive. You can see that from the immaculate records of the top 2 right now in Arsenal and Manchester United. This is going to be a tougher race for the title than there's ever been. I'm sure of that. So there's just no margin for error. So that brings its own pressure, I would say. A game like today, early part of the season, you'd expect to be able to go out there and express yourself with not too much pressure, but that's not the case. There's no margin for error, especially considering Chelsea slipped up on the opening day. But yeah, expect it to be a 4-3-3. Always interested in Pernilla Harder's role. She's been playing slightly deeper in the midfield. Looks like it might be a number 10 position for her today. We'll just keep an eye on that. She seems to be just playing around Sam Kerr first few seconds.
You can see immediately Villa on the front foot, especially here with Kenza Dali. Finding Corsi. Checo was on the overlap on the left-hand side. Sophie Ingles there to sweep up, just as she so often does at the base of that midfield. I guess when you've got a player like that who's so comfortable being stationed there at all times, Sam, you could almost just build the rest of the midfield around her. Real unsung hero. Yeah,
knows the role inside out. Always had a really competent defensive midfielder, I think, under Emma Hayes. Think of Katie Chapman, the job that she used to do in there, and Sophie Ingle knows the role inside out. She'll win a lot of balls. She'll give it to the more offensive players and keep her position.
Well, just as she's done there, as Pernilla Harder can drive forward. She has Wrighton ahead of her. Sam Kerr was towards the far post. Villa had numbers back defending, and Alicia Lehmann can try to bring this ball downfield. Villa do need to be a bit better in possession when they do get it. At Kings Meadow, Chelsea have been formidable. They've won 49 of the last 51 points available to them at home in the WSL. That's 16 out of 17 games. They only dropped points back in February with a goalless draw against Arsenal. And Rachel Daly, she started the season really well for Aston Villa. Has been absolutely flying since returning from the Euros with England. Of course, we were used to seeing her there as a left-back. She's been playing much more as an out-and-out striker, just like Sam Kerr, who's away only momentarily from Danielle Turner. She does have support from midfield. It's Erin Cuthbert who's lining up the strike. It's blocked on the way to goal, and anywhere will do for Aston Villa.
Yeah, Danielle Turner just a little bit hesitant down on the near side. Sam Kerr read the bounce of the ball, and that's a positive, having Erin Cuthbert playing in that slightly deeper position that she's been playing this season, centre of midfield alongside Sophie Ingle. Looks like they're going to be a two in there, but she'll drive forward, and we know she's capable of getting a goal. So early example of that, edge of the box, getting a strike away.
It was a fierce hit, wasn't it? Good work by Sam Kerr. Anna Patton it was who got her body in the way. Villa can break forward themselves. A bit of defending for Chelsea to do. And look how calmly that's dealt with by Eriksson. Here's Harder. Turning away from Rachel Corsi. Let's find Wrighton, of course, who racked up her century of Chelsea appearances in midweek, celebrating that by getting 4 assists from open play. Makes it even more impressive. Loose from Buchanan, and now Daly's in. She's got another option over on this near side. Kirsty Hansen was bombing forward. Couldn't sort her feet out in time. Villa still on the attack. Dali. Lehmann was hugging the right touchline. She's got Eriksson for company. Has managed to find the cross. It was in towards Hansen again. Berger's not quite dealt with it. Corsi's battling away with Harder. And now it's Dali, whose strike is charged down by Buchanan. Still, the danger not cleared for Chelsea. Ingle gets her foot behind that one. And eventually, the Blues are out of trouble.
Yeah, just an early example that Chelsea aren't going to have it their own way. It's good pressure on the far side from Lehmann. Buchanan just a little bit sloppy trying to play into midfield. And Aston Villa, I think, already showing that they're not coming here to sit in deep and just soak up the pressure that Chelsea will throw towards them. They're looking to play on the front foot. The forward players high up the pitch when Chelsea were trying to build. And that's where they were dispossessed, and it ended in a good block from Buchanan, making up for her own error.
They do have a very good record on the road, Aston Villa. They've won 4 of their last 6 WSL away games, which is as many as they managed in their past 17. Here's Lauren James. Kerr, always the outlet as she plays on the final defender. It's a bit of a collector's item there. Pernilla Harder's pass not finding the intended target.
Just a moment there where I felt Harder was maybe going to steady herself for the strike.
Well, here's Wrighton coming forward herself. Draws a fantastic stop out of Anna Leet.
Yeah, another turnover high up. Aston Villa this time guilty of giving the ball away, but Guro Wrighton gets the strike away so quickly. He doesn't have a great sight of goal there, but able to angle it towards the target. Maybe a little bit too central. So it forces Leet into an early save, and a good one at that.
Really good stop by the Aston Villa goalkeeper. She's been sharing goalkeeping duties with Hannah Hampton this season. Does lead to a Chelsea corner, though, towards the near post. Just about smothered away by Aston Villa. Will it stay in for Lauren James? She's done well, the England international. Brings Perisset into play. Better from Chelsea, more sustained possession. Buchanan just trying to force things a little quickly there. It does eventually work its way to a defensive partner, Millie Bright, who wins yet another corner. Chelsea have been very effective from set pieces this season. 7 of their 11 goals prior to kick-off in midweek had come from set pieces, whether that was penalties, free kicks, corners. Can usually rely on the quality of the delivery. And it's Eve Perisset who's been trusted with this one. It's in towards the near post. Would have taken something quite special for Eriksson to score, facing away from goal.
Yeah, flat delivery. Looks like Eriksson's just looking to help that on and just can't get the leg up. The leg up, can she? The left leg to hook it into the danger area.
Well, Leet forced into going long under pressure from the Blues faithful inside Kings Meadow. Does get a stroke of luck, though, as it works its way out for Hansen. One-on-one against Millie Bright. Hansen on loan from Manchester United and loses the battle on that occasion. The Scotland international was the 8th signing of the summer for Aston Villa. They try to reinvigorate their squad after last season's 9th place finish. Helped out by Ingle. Cleared straight back by Turner. Linkilde just mopping things up, tidying up in midfield, as she will do. Very promising